What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So I've been using the iPad 11th gen or the iPad A16, whatever you'd like to call it, for the past week, and I want to share with you guys my thoughts and experience of using this tablet. And I'm coming from being just an iPad mini 7 user. Like, that iPad mini 7 is my main tablet. So this has been a little bit more of a different experience, switching from a smaller iPad to a larger iPad. But essentially, I want to start things off with the processor. It has the A16 chipset, which is a lesser chipset found in my iPad mini 7, but on a day-to-day basis, that really didn't impact the way I use the iPad. So just, browsing the web, and I've been using this mainly for content consumption, but browsing the web, using it for Notion and things like that, it definitely has been very good. So you won't have any issues with that. And honestly, I feel like this is a great iPad to use it for content consumption, using it for watching YouTube videos, browsing the web. I know a lot of people who have an iPad that like to have it on a stand while they're cooking food and have like recipes on the iPad, so they get to kind of follow along and use it that way. I've seen different use cases for it too. Now, you do have Final Cut Pro, which I have not used yet. I'll be honest with you. I've struggled using it with my iPad mini 7, so I don't know how well it would be with the iPad, and that's something I have to continue to use and share with you guys in further videos of my experience with Final Cut Pro. But the processor's not too bad. For everyday tasks, for multitasking, it's going to get the job done. Obviously, if you want to do pro-level things, you want to use pro-level apps, or use this as your main computing device, you may have to think otherwise. You may have to kind of think about either going iPad Pro or just picking up an actual MacBook to use it that way. But for just general light tasks and things like that, it's going to perform very well. Before I continue the video, I want to give a huge shout out to ESR for sending these products out for me to check out and to share with you guys. And the first product I want to show you guys is the ESR Geo Digital Pencil. So first things first, it's minimal, it's clean, it has Find My capability, it has a shortcut button you can use, it has a battery display, it's smooth and precise, which I really do love. So if you're going to use this for writing and for making content, if you're an artist, this is going to be great. Fast charging as well, fully charges within 30 minutes, and it's awesome. Like, it really is super clean. And it's super affordable too. It only costs $29.99. You get to enjoy the same Find My features as the Apple Pencil Pro for a fraction of the cost of the Apple Pencil Pro. So this has been really great, and I've been using it with my iPad 11th gen. Now, next up is the ESR Ultra Fit Classic Screen Protector. So first things first, I love the application process. It's a simple two-step application process with this iPad, and also for other products too. And it's also dust-free and bubble-free. And the dust removal strip ensures instant bubble and a dust-free application process. Not only that, it's 2 times stronger than standard screen protectors, but I really do love how it looks on my iPad 11th gen. And you do need a screen protector for your products, so you don't crack the screen or you don't scratch it and things like that. Definitely be sure to check out the screen protector. Now, of course, you do need a case, and I have right here the ESR Flip Magnetic Case, which also houses the pencil holding slot right here. So what I love about this, it has a multi-angle for viewing and for making content. So if you just want to use it for content consumption, or you're an artist and you want to write and just create artwork, this is going to be a great case. It's also ultra stable on any surface, so it's not really going to move around wherever you go and whatever surface you're on. And it also has a portrait mode. So if you're going to use your iPad in a portrait view, it does have that capability. And best thing of this is that it's super affordable. It's versatile, it's strong, and it's a stable stand at a budget-friendly price of $22.99. I'll go ahead and leave a link to all of these products in the description down below, but huge shout out and huge thanks for ESR for sponsoring a portion of this video. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the storage. So Apple did up the storage from 64 gigs to 128 gigs, which is great. So 64 gigs, I'm glad that they kind of phased that out because I don't think that was enough. I think 128 gigs should have always been, like last year should have been the base storage, and they finally made it. But I think in a couple of years now, 256 gigs is going to have to be the base storage. But I have 128 gigs and it's completely okay. Now, if you're not saving everything to your iPad, you'll be fine. But if you are, then you may need to upgrade to the 256 gig model. So I just wanted to point that out there as well. Display has been great. It's not 120 hertz, it's not OLED or anything like that, but it still is pretty good. It still gets pretty bright. Now I haven't used outdoors, so I can't really talk about that, but indoors, you know, when I'm watching a YouTube video, it gets plenty bright. I've had no problems with it, and I'm kind of used to it and not being 120 hertz again, coming from my iPad Mini 7. I think many people will appreciate it. In fact, I don't even think many people who are picking this up really care about 120 hertz on their tablet anyway. So you won't have any problems with the display. And when you're holding it, yes, it is full screen, but there is still a pretty thick bezel, especially if you take a look at other iPads, and that's okay. I mean, it gives you more room to kind of hold on. Let's say you're playing like a mobile game or something like that. It gives you more room to hold on like that, so that's a plus. But I also want to point out this. I've been using my iPad as in horizontal mode. So I really don't use it in vertical mode anymore, but more so in horizontal landscape mode. And I think a lot of people have transitioned to using it in horizontal mode as well. I don't know, I think that's just become the norm. When I remember when iPad was released, everyone was using it like this, but now it has since kind of switched to being used in landscape mode. I also do want to talk about the Touch ID is still present right here. However, I don't really use it, but if I ever do need to, I know that's there and it's great. And I hope that Apple does bring it back to the iPhone one day. I don't know, it's just really convenient to use. There is no Face ID on here, so just do keep that in mind. If you want to get Face ID, then you go for a different iPad. Whether you go for iPad Air or Pro, that's up to you, but you're not going to get it on here, which for me, I'm completely okay with. Now, I also do like this blue color. I really, really like the shade of blue that they put with this iPad. They have a bunch of different friendly and colorful colors, so you can definitely check them out, but this one was my favorite, the blue one. That's the reason why I picked it up. Now, this doesn't support Apple Pencil Pro, which I'll be honest, I don't really use it other than using it for Procreate, which I do. I'm using this pencil right here from ESR, the geomagnetic pencil. This has been phenomenal. But yeah, I've been using this for all of my pencil purposes and all my pencil needs. So yeah, I'm not going to pay a huge price for the Apple Pencil Pro, even though I did, but I didn't have this before. But like, I wouldn't recommend an Apple Pencil Pro when I know that this is available. But this does support, you know, keyboard accessories and things like that. The screen protector I have right here is from ESR. Again, I'll be leaving links in the description down below if you want to check them out. I truly love their products. They're amazing quality and they are affordable, and I think they are much better than the products that Apple puts out for like first party accessories for their products. However, there is one thing I do want to mention, that is the battery life. The battery life on this is phenomenal. Like, this will easily last you an entire day, and honestly, this is based on your usage, but you could get 2 to 3 days of use without needing to charge this. That is awesome. Like, if you can get 2 to 3 days of use without needing to charge this, and maybe even more, that is awesome. For me, again, it's lasting all day. Like, I can go to bed, wake up the next morning, and I still don't need to charge it. That is awesome. But my main app right here has been YouTube, obviously, and then using it for Notion, just keeping up with the business and things like that. So like when I'm going to bed, kind of winding down, or first thing when I do when I wake up, I like to pick up my iPad. Right now it's been the iPad 11th gen, but before it's used the iPad mini, and kind of do my morning to-do list and tasks, things like that. Look at to see if I have any emails, respond to them, and then maybe have a video up while I'm getting ready for the day, and just making sure I'm up to date with my weekly, daily to-do list on Notion and just keeping track of the business. So it's been awesome, but who would I recommend this iPad 11th gen for? Honestly, I wouldn't recommend it for those who want to use this as their main computing device. That's number one. But I think this is going to be great for kids, first of all. For students, like high school students or college students who don't want to break the bank and who don't really need too much. They just need an iPad to take notes, or they need an iPad to view Excel files, PowerPoints, and things like that, and who also want to use it for content consumption. And also, I think this is for those who are using it for home use. And again, that really involves content consumption. And that doesn't necessarily mean just YouTube. It can mean Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, whatever it may be, using it for social media browsing. This is going to be a great tablet, and it's a much better alternative, especially when it comes to the price, when we compare it to iPad Air and iPad Pro types of thing. Like everything you can do here, let me put it this way, this iPad can tackle 75-80% of what the iPad Air and what the iPad Pro have to offer. And that's just like the everyday tasks, light work, consuming media, and all that great stuff. So I really like this iPad, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to continue to keep using this as my main and replace it with my iPad mini, just because that's like a little bit more portable, and I really like the iPad mini lineup. I've been using it since 2021, so it's going to take some time. And we'll see if I do end up switching to this. But so far, this has been great. I realize, like, for me in the iPad space, I don't really need an iPad Pro. In fact, I don't need an iPad Air. This is more than enough. If you notice, I didn't talk about Apple Intelligence. One, because it's not included in here. And two, I don't really use it for my own, like, other things, like in my iPhone or for my iPad mini 7. I really use Apple Intelligence, so it's not too important for me. It's not fully ready yet either, so I don't really care that this doesn't have Apple Intelligence. But overall, it's a great tablet, decently priced, $349. If you go education pricing, you can get it for much cheaper. But that's really been it in the past week. Great tablet. I really do like it. Definitely be sure to check out the ESR accessories. I'll be leaving links in the description down below. If you did enjoy this video, definitely be sure to super smash that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. My latest wallpaper pack, I'll be leaving also a link in the description down below. It is called Color Blast, and it does go a long way in helping out the channel. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.